Throughout history, societies developed a variety of punishment methods, reflecting their values, beliefs, and socio-political contexts. These practices were tools for maintaining order, deterring dissent, and asserting authority. From symbolic gestures of remorse to terrifying public spectacles, these methods reveal much about humanity's capacity for cruelty and innovation. Yubitsume. In Japan, the Yakuza employed Yubitsume as a physical manifestation of apology and atonement. Members who betrayed their organization severed a portion of their little finger and presented it to their superior. Rooted in samurai traditions, this ritual symbolized the loss of one's grip on a sword, rendering the individual vulnerable and dependent on their group. Over time, it became a form of punishment reinforcing loyalty within Japanese organized crime. Bastinado, or falanga, was practiced in ancient Egypt and other cultures. It involved striking the soles of a person's feet with rods or whips. The soles, rich in nerve endings, made this punishment excruciating while leaving minimal visible evidence. Prolonged bastinado sessions could cause permanent nerve damage or crippling injuries, making it a tool of control as much as punishment. Pitch capping. In 18th century Ireland, pitch capping was a punishment for suspected rebels. It involved pouring hot tar onto a victim's scalp, which cooled and was forcibly removed, leaving permanent scars. This method exemplified colonial oppression, using cruelty to suppress resistance and instill fear. The elephant's foot. In ancient India, elephants were revered symbols of power, but they also served as instruments of execution. In the elephant's foot, trained elephants crushed criminals underfoot. These public executions reinforced the ruler's divine authority, as the elephant's immense power symbolized the might of the state. Pena culiae. In Rome, pena culiae was reserved for parricides. The condemned were sewn into a leather sack along with live animals like snakes and monkeys, and then cast into water. The unnatural crime of killing a parent was met with an equally horrifying demise, emphasizing family loyalty and filial bonds. Decimation. The Roman military used decimation as a severe disciplinary measure. 1 in 10 soldiers from a guilty unit was selected and executed by their comrades. Though rare, decimation reinforced unity through shared guilt and fear, eliminating dissent in the military. Blowing from a gun. Colonial powers, particularly the British in India, used blowing from a gun to execute rebels. The condemned were tied to a cannon's mouth, which was fired, causing instant death. This brutal method instilled terror and maintained control through public spectacle. Tarring and feathering. Tarring and feathering, infamous during the American colonial period, involved stripping offenders, covering them in hot tar, and rolling them in feathers. Often not fatal, this punishment was humiliating and left victims with severe burns and scars. It was used for perceived enemies of the community, reflecting collective anger and societal tensions. The rack. In medieval Europe, the rack was used for interrogation and torture. Victims were tied to a wooden frame, which was gradually stretched to dislocate joints and tear ligaments. The excruciating pain coerced confessions, whether true or false, symbolizing the power of the state to extract information at any cost. The blood eagle. The Vikings practiced the blood eagle, a brutal execution ritual. Victims were restrained, and their ribs were severed from the spine before their lungs were pulled out to resemble wings. This practice highlighted the interplay of religion, honor, and brutality in Viking society. Ling Chi. In Imperial China, Ling Chi was reserved for the most heinous crimes. Executioners sliced pieces of the victim's flesh, prolonging suffering while maintaining consciousness. Ling Chi carried spiritual punishment, as mutilation was believed to prevent the victim's soul from achieving peace. The Brazen Bull. The Brazen Bull was a hollow metal statue used for execution by roasting. Victims were placed inside, and a fire was lit beneath them. The device included tubes that transformed the victim's screams into a bull's roar, turning their suffering into a macabre spectacle. Keel hauling. Keel hauling was a feared punishment at sea. The condemned were dragged under the ship's barnacle-covered hull, causing severe lacerations. Many victims drowned before the punishment was complete. Used by naval forces, it was a deterrent to mutiny and a demonstration of maritime discipline. Sawing. Sawing involved suspending the victim upside down and using a saw to bisect their body, starting from the groin. Gravity ensured that victims remained conscious until the saw reached vital organs. This method combined physical torment with psychological terror. The methods of punishment and execution described above are a testament to humanity's capacity for inventiveness in cruelty. These practices served as reminders of the consequences of defiance. While many have been relegated to history, their legacy endures, offering sobering insights into the darker aspects of human civilization.